Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Not just a YouTube channel, your main source for bull breed entertainment. I offer video services such as stud features, kennel features, and full event coverage. I also offer photography services such as puppy shoots, individual dog shoots, and full kennel shoots. You can see examples of each on any and all Bull-NA-ChinaShop social media pages. You can also see an in-depth look into my life and the American Bully lifestyle with my vlog found on the YouTube channel as well. Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV is also the home of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, a real, raw, uncut podcast dedicated to the bull breeds and the American Bully lifestyle. You can find all episodes of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, stud features, kennel features, event features, and all of the vlogs on youtube.com/Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Check it out and hit subscribe today.
I'm taking applications right now. I need more haters. Yo. What the fuck is going on? You amazing motherfuckers. And we are gonna try to shop back again. You wanna advertise for someone? www.advertise my shit. Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. What the fuck is the wait? Stop taking fucking pictures. The puppy is gonna be hosted by yours truly, Ty Lonely Time. No.
Yo, you beautiful motherfuckers. Episode 52 of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, the first and only podcast dedicated to bull breeds and the American Bully lifestyle. This is the 1 year anniversary. We do one episode a week. Well, the first year we did one episode a week. So that means episode 52, the 1 year anniversary. 1 year ago, we started this whole fucking journey. And I couldn't think of a more fitting person than the person who came up with the whole podcast idea, YouTube channel idea, putting the personality out there a little bit, the idea behind the whole fucking thing, Rob Lee from Bully Market. So what's up, Rob? Thanks for joining us on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. What's up, everybody?
What is this?
Been cool to watch this thing grow.
What is this, number 4?
I knew it would.
Your 4th appearance, I think?
I think it's the third.
Third.
It's the third. Came on early, and then again in the middle.
In Kerrville, down in Texas.
Maybe it is the 4th. It might be the 4th.
I don't know. We'd have to. I got it written down 3 times. I actually do have it written down. Look at that. I'm actually prepared once in my life. 3 times. So, welcome back, friend of the podcast. Actually, like I said, the whole idea behind doing a podcast and coming up with a brand to push the American Bully and to push the lifestyle and to show people what the fuck goes into this shit. That, the whole idea, came from your brain. So, I couldn't think of a better person to be sitting here bullshitting with on the 1 year anniversary.
Oh yeah, that was a good trip too. I had a lot of fun on that trip.
Yeah, I think when I think back about it, like how the conversation even came up, like for me it was completely left field. Like I don't even know what you were thinking about or what gave you the idea or what, you saw that you thought I would be good at doing it. But I'm glad you fucking brought it up. I'm glad you mentioned this shit, because it got me like almost obsessed with it. Almost like took me down a fucking rabbit hole, like obsessed as fuck with it. And, we've been putting in work ever since.
Yeah. Well, as far as what I was thinking, it was just at the time, if I remember right, it was just, it was fresh off of a seminar. You had done really well it's a skill to be able to go up there and talk to a crowd, talk in front of a crowd. Not something I particularly like. So when I saw you do it and do it well, I you know, another thing I remember thinking about was just sometimes, like, you just gotta give someone a little bit of encouragement and on something, a praise here or there, and boom, it could just make them take off in an aspect of their life, you know. I didn't know to what extent it would do, but I also like to talk business, and so, you know, as we're just sitting there talking about the bully breed and the community and stuff like that, and then I see what you're doing, and I know there's value that for the community to have a source of, you know, information to get in a podcast like this or on videos, and, you know, someone putting in that time, that energy, that effort to kind of be a voice for the, you know, there's multiple sides of the breed. What I'll call the better side of the breed. You know what I mean? Someone who's doing things the right way or trying to do things the right. You know, we're breeders. We're not perfect.
Right.
We're always striving for better. But, you know, in an era where the exotic, or I'm not even going to dub it the exotic, I'm just going to say in an era where, you know, social media, and you can just, boom, you know, get on the groups or pictures and then have a bunch of nut riders. And, you know, people are easily fooled by, you know, this type of stuff. So to have someone on there being a voice for what's really going on, it was needed. It's good. And so it's good to see. Glad it took off.
Yeah, the support so far has been, I mean, fucking, like, I've got people from China, Australia, Brazil. I've got, I mean, South Africa. Like, I've got the UK, all over Europe, Canada. Like, I've got people messaging me talking about how they listen to the podcast every week and they don't miss an episode, and like the people that they get to hear from, and the stories that they get to hear through the podcast, like how much how influential it is on them. Like, that shit means a lot to me, and sometimes it's overwhelming, bro. Like, you know, like, I'm a passionate dude, and anything I do, like, I put 100% into it, you know? And the support that I've got the first year and the numbers that we're putting up the first year is fucking, to me, I wasn't even expecting that. Like, my goals were much lower than what we're actually doing, you know? And the people that we're actually reaching, my goals weren't this high. I didn't set the bar high enough, maybe, but it's a good thing to reach your goals and surpass them, I think, because it makes you look at that next level. It makes you want to get to, you know, the next fucking level, whatever that may be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is a breed that's just exploding onto the scene still, globally speaking.
Right.
You know what I mean? So whatever momentum you have now, you stay on it, and you know you should be able to continue to ride the wave. That's why I laugh when people, you know, talk bad about the American bully economy or the breed in general. There's a lot of good going on, you know.
There's so much good going on, you know, and I feel like some of this negativity almost overshadows all the positive things that are fucking happening with the American bully breed.
Well, you know, what's wrong is always available, but so is what's right.
Right.
And you know, when it is a little, you just scroll through your feed though, and it's like there is a large ratio of people who it's just kind of like, yeah, an upset tone, or you know, underlining tone in the text as you read it.
But don't you
No,
think
you guys are supposed to do this stuff because you love it, because you're passionate about it, because it makes you happy. Like, why are you mad? Why are you so upset? Go outside and play with your fucking dogs or something. Throw the ball. You know
Play
what
with
I
your
mean?
dogs, bitches. But don't you think, like, this is the first time in the history of human beings that all we have unlimited access to fucking information. Not just information, but people's opinions, people's thoughts, people's emotions. Like, this is the first time in the history of people where you say the words, scroll down your feed, and everybody listening knows exactly what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that sometimes that deluge of fucking information and emotions from people, like, it's sometimes that itself is overwhelming, and it's hard to pick through the bullshit, the negative shit, to get to the positive that's in that, because it can be used in a positive way. You're an example of it. The Bull in the China Shop page.com page is an example of it. Like, you can use it in positive ways. It's just, you gotta sift through that negative shit to find the positive stuff. And I think this is the first time in the history of people where we have everyone's emotions raining down on us from all over the world.
Well, and that's the problem. You got a bunch of emotional people that probably, that realistically they don't have a grip on their emotions, and so they take it to the socials and just let it rip, and it's like, as you can see when you're out actually doing shit, shit just happens, and so if these people would actually put energy into doing stuff instead of crying on the socials, then things would probably be going better. I just see so much whining and complaining about who's getting likes, who's selling dogs, and this and that, and it's like, man, it's no wonder you're not selling dogs, because you're sitting there complaining about shit instead of how you're going to get better and mastering your craft, and how are you going to make your dogs better? How is your next breeding going to be better? You know what I mean? It's just,
It's those same people too that you see are matching up dogs that have the same weaknesses. You know what I mean? Like, they're just, it's the same people that are complaining about not being able to sell shit. Not only are they complaining all the fucking time, or their personal life's all over social media, or every time they have an argument with anyone or a problem with anything, it goes on the socials, as you say. But not only that, but their breedings and their matchups, for the most part, those are the same people who are matching up mediocre dogs over and over and over again.
yeah, I'm losing you a little bit.
Yeah, I heard it kind of buzz in and out there a little bit. If we do cut out or whatever, and I do have to hit pause. It's happened before. Happened last week with Marlon Grennan. Uh, we'll keep going. We'll push through, and we'll reconnect and hit the record button again, dude. No big deal.
Okay.
But
But yeah, just it's not that hard. Enjoy your dogs, and document what you do. Do something that you like, document it, and other people that dig that, they're going to be attracted to it. It's not that hard.
yeah, it's. I mean, it was difficult for me at first, because I just didn't, like, you don't know until you know. You know what I mean? Until we had a few conversations about promoting and advertising and stuff like that. Like, it was difficult for me to grow the stuff. But since we've gotten closer and had these conversations over and over and over again multiple times, and talked about strategies and plans and a budget and things like that, it's not difficult to get stuff to grow, man. It's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of that,
and that,
just as a testament to that, let me give you a rundown of the first year's numbers for the Bull in the China Shop pages. Okay, 200,000 plus views on YouTube the first year, and the YouTube channel still has another week before it's officially a year. 1,000 subscribers the first year. 970 right now, but I'm estimating by the time we hit 1 year, which I said, like I said, it's the end of the next week, it'll be 1,000. 75,000 plus downloads through the Bull-NA-China Shop podcast alone. That's not counting views on YouTube for the episodes that are on YouTube. 160,000 followers on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com Facebook page. 305,000 plus video views on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com Facebook page. That's a fucking reach, man. That's reaching some people.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and that's the type of stuff that people need to look at and be inspired by. It's not necessarily that they have to, look at what you did and try and copy you, but it's something that you did and an effort that you're doing to get the breed exposure above and beyond the little show ring and the Facebook groups. This adds value to the breed, to your brand, and it expands the pet market. When I talk value, people don't, oh, he's just talking money. No, we're talking expanding the market. The more people that are wanting to buy these dogs as pets, instead of just breeders selling to breeders, selling to breeders, selling to breeders, kennel to kennel to kennel, you actually will have some dogs going in and sitting on couches for their whole life. And as much as I like having accolades of just champion after champion stacked up, I also like just knowing that this dog is just chilling in the house somewhere, loved, and obviously some of my show homes do it just like that as well, but just knowing that they don't even have any interest in breeding. Because once someone takes interest in breeding, and then they start looking at their dog differently. Oh man, people not showing him no love, and you know what I mean? It's just enjoy your dogs,
That's a piece that's missing, I think, man. I think that's something that people are fucking missing, man. Just the fact that spending time with your animals. I mean, what the fuck did you own? Why did you buy a dog in the first place? What was the main reason behind you buying a dog in the first place? Was it to breed it, to make money, to have puppies? Or was it to have a companion, spend some time with an animal that gives you unconditional love and unconditional loyalty and companionship? I mean, what was the reason you bought a dog in the first fucking place?
Yeah, and right now it's a lot of people buying dogs for breeding, and I do breed, but we give the dogs. I run my program in a way where the dogs are always out. They get to run a pack life. They're living really good. It's it goes back to what I was saying about what you're doing, adding that value. And I just want to circle back to it because it's important. Just getting those pet people interested in this breed, whether that be like you're doing it through podcasts, like I did it through going to events with Bistro, or campaigning a dog and taking him into places, or El Toro has done some things, flew him around.
Even like the cannabis cup events and stuff that you guys do, a lot of people at those events are not dog people.
No, and well, they are dog people.
I mean, I'm saying like
they're not
breeders.
exposed to this yet.
Right.
And we have to show them that this exists, because even myself, I didn't realize that this underground community for this breed existed. Once I found out about it and the shows, and back when I started, the shows were really huge, way bigger than what they are these days. So yeah, I got bit by the bug, and I was just, coming back and back and back. But whether you're doing stuff like that big internationally, or you're just taking your dog out to the beach, taking your dog out regularly with you on errands, like that's a potential someone you could run into that could be your next greatest puppy owner. For someone that, because of you, they found out what an American bully is. They realized, they came up to you and they said, "Nice pit." You said, "Oh, well, thank you, ma'am, but actually, it's an American bully." And then from there, this conversation is sparked, and they become more intrigued, and education. So it's just little things like that I think is kind of lacking, because everyone is so concerned with their breedings, and then of course they're stuck on Facebook not doing shit, just their faces on the fucking screen all day. You know what I
Even
mean? So
to add to that point, even me flying with puppies on airplanes opens eyes and creates that opportunity for that conversation to be started, like you're saying, because as soon as they see those puppies,
especially you flying your puppy on airplanes. I mean,
right?
that's
I hand
that's
out
prime.
cards
That's
every
prime
time.
time.
I hand out kennel cards and Bull-NA-China Shop cards every single time I'm on the road with a dog. Every single time people want to know about it and they're curious about it. It never fails.
No, absolutely, and especially a quality bully pup. I mean,
It melts
these things
people.
they're cute.
Yeah, man, it melts people instantly. The TSA agents. I actually in my vlog a couple weeks ago, the TSA agents caused me to miss a fucking flight because they were oogling over the puppy or whatever, and I was trying not to be rude but trying to rush at the same time. But like they just draw attention no matter where they go, and I feel like we have to take advantage of those opportunities to get that fucking conversation started in the first place.
Yeah, well, and that's just for me from the very get go. That's been one of my strategies. That's kind of what made Bully Market what it is. I came on the scene. I didn't know anyone in the bully community. I realized pretty quickly that it's not going to be easy to sell dogs to all these people who are already clicked up with all their homies who will just give them a dog for pup back
Right.
and shit like that. That if I want to sell dogs, I need to, work outside of the community and bring new people in. And, that's how you grow a page to be 1 million strong and above and beyond. That's how you dominate on different socials. It's just, you have to kind of think bigger than what is just the little bully community. It's easy to get caught up in it because you do get a lot of engagement and love and stuff like that. But the reality of it is, a lot of these guys are not buying, and then if they do buy, they're going to have your stuff, and who knows how they're going to respect what they got from you.
And also, if they are, most people that are on the grind, showing, week in and week out, yourself that shit's not cheap. So most of these people aren't going to spend the prices that we have on our stock. I mean, the once you open my eyes to the fact that we need to be marketing to people outside the bully community itself, it's it's paid dividends, man. It's paid dividends, not just money wise, but overall value, like we're talking about. Overall value for my program, the breed, the two brands that I represent, like value for all of it has increased since I kind of got that grasp of we just need to stop marketing just to, because for a long time I had the goal of building dogs for breeders to advance their programs. And I still have those. I still have those dogs and I still help people advance their programs. But at the same time, I've done a couple of things to make sure the pet market value is there also. And I think that's important. I think that's another thing that you've kind of opened my eyes to be honest with you. What episode did we talk about that?
It's super important for the stability, long-term stability of a breed.
Right. Right. It's if you want to think about it this way, it's job security in a way. We can't. The turnover's so high, the recycle rate's so high. We can't rely on that. Just the people that are here now. We need to be focused on bringing in a fresh tidal wave of new people every year. And I can't remember what episode exactly it was that we talked about that. I think it was the Kerrville, the when I came down to Texas episode. That's one of the highlight episodes I actually have on my list. I've got a whole list of episodes from this first year that I think are like highlight episodes that I think people should definitely hear if they don't hear any other ones. The episode 1 with BTK. BTK's been on the show 4 times. But episode 1 with BTK is really, really cool. We get to hear BTK's background. I think I'm not sure exact number, but episode 3 was your first appearance. And you've been on 3 times. Jamie Sweet has been on the show 5 times, which it kind of makes sense since she's right down the road. Episode 17, Whelping Tips. Episode 19, ABKC Road Crew Trip. Episode 30, Euro Nationals Winter Con with Rocco. Episode 31, Dave Wilson. Episode 32, Kev Green. Episode 43, Mike Griffin. And episode 49, the Atlanta Kennel takeover of the podcast, where they flipped the script on me and asked me a bunch of questions. But what was that? I can't remember exact episode, but that Kerrville, Texas episode you and I did, we talked a lot about these strategies and these techniques to help expand the brand, people's brand, not just ours, but everybody who listened, expand the brand and try to reach that pet market. I can't remember exact number, but I think that was the Texas episode that we talked about that. So it's something we've been talking about for a while, and these same strategies, like the same mentality that we're talking about right now, trying to reach the pet market, is why the Bull-NA-ChinaShop stuff has grown so fast in the first year, because that's the whole approach. I'm not trying to sell anything with this brand other than the American Bully itself, not my American Bullies, not my puppies or my breedings, or not me as a person, the American Bully itself and bull breeds in general. That lifestyle that comes along with these breeds comes along with being a judge and a breeder and a now, I don't know if you heard, but now I'm going to be an MC apparently. I got hired to MC ABKC's first show in Australia, or second show in Australia in September. So, it's, I forgot even what I was saying. I got distracted by going to Australia. I'm excited as fuck about that, man. But just those strategies that we were talking about, that's what I've used all year. The plan that you and I talked about at the beginning, right when I first started this, and then you actually kind of helped me revamp it halfway through the year with some promotional techniques and stuff. These things are what's been put into place to get these numbers and to get this reach to where it is, as big as it is in the first year. I mean, I'm fucking happy as fuck with the numbers first year, man. You're
gonna have everybody messaging how to do this.
I've been saying for a year you got to start consulting,
man,
bro.
I could, I will when I put my podcast out there. Because that's a whole nother deal. When we start talking about that stuff again, we could go on and on about it. But it just has to do with, I could put it all out there, but the majority of the people aren't going to do shit about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the difference is, what you've done is when I give you information, man, Like you take it and you go. You hit the ground and you run with it. And it's like,
Yeah,
you
sometimes
know,
I tweak it a little bit. Sometimes I find a little kind of personal touch that I put on some, the advice they give me. But for the most part,
always.
it's like, at least try it. What have I got to lose by trying it? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the thing. We all have something to learn from everybody, whether it's good or bad. And it's like you kind of take the page. You take what you hear or what you learn, and then you take the page out of that works best for you. But it all boils down to doing the work,
Yeah.
to doing,
Right.
doing, and
Putting
not
it in action.
sitting and theorizing. And the Facebook thing. I mean, it's only going to get you so far. The internet thing, it works good, but at the end of the day, if we're talking about being a breeder and breeding and selling, you do have to step outside beyond just Facebook. Just to be realistic, if you want to be successful. There's a lot that goes into this. Just if you're trying to do this at a level, even I'm learning more and more. It's like, man, just when I thought I was getting dialed in, it's like, you got more work to do.
Well, I seen a thing. I don't know if you want to call it a meme or whatever, but I seen a meme the other day that had like 12 brick walls lined up in a row, and it said every new level that you reach, there will be new obstacles to overcome. And that shit like rang so true with me because every single time I think I'm getting to where I'm comfortable, like I'm comfortable here where I'm at, and you learn something and you're like, fuck, man, I could do that so much better. Like with the
Oh yeah.
videos, with the YouTube channel. If you look at the quality of stuff at the beginning of the year to the last 6-8 weeks stuff that I've been putting out, it's night and day. Just because every time I do something, I see, oh shit, I could have done that better, and then the next video I try to make it better. I try to do that better.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, we could literally go on and on and on about this. It's just I see it so much too. People struggling to promote, and that's the problem. Everyone is just promoting, selling. No one likes to be sold like that all the time. Like when you get a call and it's a telemarketer, it's like you're like, fuck that guy, man, and hang up on him. You press number 2 and you go off the call list. You know what I mean? No one likes that. No one likes the guys that come and knock at your door and try to sell. So it's like, if you're going to sell, then at least give something. And whether that's for, like in your case, you're putting out this good content with your Bull-NA-China shop. In my case, you know, whether it's something funny with Bistro or just, the images that we put out or the videos or, whatever element that people get value out of why they would follow us or whatever. But you just have to bring that value, you know.
It helps to be out there.
Going there, a little stoned over here.
Well, I mean, it helps to be out there, involved in the life. You know what I mean? It helps to be actually putting in the work and putting in the miles and putting in the fucking time it takes to learn this, to, like you said, to be a master of your craft. It helps when you're actually out there doing the shit and living the life. It's easy to put out content then,
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, unless you are out there doing and putting in that work, then stop expecting to be the one selling or doing good, because if you want more, you're gonna have to do more. That's just the way it is.
In everything. Does it not just dogs or whatever, YouTube or whatever, like in every aspect of life, no matter what you want to do or be successful at, the more you want to accomplish, the more you have to do. That's just how it works.
That's exactly it. And you know, you're gonna face setbacks, like you just said. You know, or where you get comfortable and you think you're good and you kind of run stagnant, but then you know you level up. You find ways to level up, and that's just it's kind of like what our slogan is about too. Bully market, where it's always a bull market. You know, in a bull market, you're not just taking a straight shot straight up. You go up and then you go a little bit down, then you go back up. So I look at that as, you know, that's the law of rhythm. That's the reality of life. You could take those downs and you learn from your mistakes and you come back stronger. Take that little hit, learn from the mistake. What'd you learn from it? Come back even better. You know what I mean?
Right. 100%. 1,000%. To kind of change pace here a little bit. I mean, we've talked about a lot about what I've done the past 12 months, what Bull-NA-ChinaShop's done. What has the bully market been up to the past year? Like what's been going on out there in California, man? I know you're busy as fuck, so it's not a short list at all.
Oh no, I mean, we took I took a break from showing dogs, and you know it's a pretty big investment of my energy. You know, when it comes to the campaigning, devising the winning strategy, you know, especially how we have done it. It really takes a lot, not just financially, but you know, mentally and just energy wise. So I had to take a step back there in order to
Just the
you know
driving,
level up
man.
in some other areas and facets of what we were doing, and then even kind of shaved off the judging. So over here, I've just been making improvements at the home front, securing another property. So we're expanding. Got a property where we can license facility there, have more dogs. So that will be good, you know. And we've been doing a lot of just, you know, working with the dogs, monies that in the past could have been, you know, put towards getting the dog that we're campaigning to the next show. I mean, we're building new dog houses. We're, you know, building stuff. We're at the, you know, we're making improvements at the yard, basically. Lots of that. So, you know, I'm just enjoying my dogs, man. It's been real nice just being able to do that and just kind of really dig in here at the yard and enjoy these the backyardigans. If you followed us, we had a nice crew of up and coming dogs. We called the backyardigans. Some pretty rowdy crew, and they've grown up to be some really nice dogs. I mean, you've seen them.
Yeah, you're talking about dogs like Bogart. You're talking about dogs like Lunchbox. You're talking about Black Phoenix. You're talking about a bunch of really nice young dogs out there.
Well, and those are the ones that more people know. But like, what gave me a lot of satisfaction was when I let those bitches out.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about last time I was out there.
You know, and when I get to let those bitches out and they all run together, and I got all those little short backs, thick bodies, you know, nice head shapes.
The consistent look across the board too. Consistent size, consistent length, consistent look. I mean, those bitches, those females out there in that part of the yard are probably one of the most consistent female base. You know, as far as like a female side of breeding program, that's probably one of the better, most consistent, anyways. Female broods I've seen out there. It's fun to watch them run around, and it's hard to tell them apart. If they weren't all different colors, it'd be tough to tell them apart.
Right, and I just get a kick out of it. I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. So where other times I'd have been getting ready for a show specific dog, I just been putting the boots on, coming out here, running with them, strapping weights on them. I was doing that not so much in the summer, but if you follow on our Snapchat, probably saw us messing around with that and Bogart and really getting it in with that. I just get a kick out of getting the most out of these genetics, because the genetics is the raw potential, but it's up to you to get the most out of that raw potential.
Right. Well, I agree 1,000%. 1,000%. I have people all the time now, new people that are, new to dogs or new to raising dogs and stuff. They bought their first animal, they see the podcast or the YouTube channel, and then they message me, "Hey, how can I get my new puppy to look like your dogs?" And I unfortunately, you probably won't be able to. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you probably can't. It's a lot to do with genetics, and then once you have those genetics, it's a lot to do with what you do with the dogs after you have those genetics.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So that another thing that we've done is I just really invested a lot to kind of tie into what we're talking about here as far as getting the most out of your genetics and what we've been doing for the last year. I just really have upped everything as far as what I had going on. Like I said, all the upgrades I mentioned with the yard, and then I had some breedings that I did, and they didn't get pregnant, and I didn't like that. So I started really dissecting what did I do wrong on these breedings, where did I go wrong, what could I have done differently, what am I doing with my program that I could do differently, and I started doing a lot of research. What could I be supplementing? And so after all my research, I came up with a long list of different things that I wanted to do, from adding raw meats, different vitamins, supplements, to filtering my water, to making sure that I do all the proper amount of progesterone testings, and making sure that I hit a surgical on every single one of these bitches next time. And ever since I made these adjustments, I really, and I even upped the food too. I invested in a little bit better food, still Victor, but I went with the grain free. And it's weird because I went with the grain free, and they actually ship more with the grain free than with the grain. So it's kind of weird, but anyways,
That's a conversation you're only having with other breeders, right there, my friend. The amount of shit from individual dog food, that's only a conversation that dog breeders are having right there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. But it is kind of like one of the, I don't know if people saw my Snapchat the other day. Got super excited. I got 10 kennel run over here on the one side of the yard, and I took my shovel and I went to each kennel, boom, scoop, 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 and I didn't even go back and empty off the shovel once. I picked up all 10 kennels with the shit, and I was so excited. I made a snap about it.
Damn.
It's like, do you guys realize how much skill and experience this takes? It was that's a weird little thing that I get a weird satisfaction out of when I'm able to pick up the shit like that.
Yo, that shit is skill, bro. That's an art that takes time to master that craft. That is a skill. Art. That's a learned ability that people don't. I mean, it's funny that we're making fun of it, but at the same time, I do this shit every day. I clean my kennels twice a day, almost every single day of the year. So doing that the most efficient way possible. Like you learn how to be efficient when you have to do something twice a day, every fucking day.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, that's for sure. It's always
I know. I mean, I know you
tweaking
guys.
and making better.
I know you guys made a bunch of changes up there. I know you guys added a bunch of staff members. I know you've got a bunch of new projects and shit. You guys are making a big move to the new farm that you bought. I mean, I'm just going by what I see on your Snapchat. You know, I'm a loyal Bully Market Snapchat follower, my friend. I see every story.
Yeah, a little bit more. You know, I don't post to all the socials. Sometimes I'll go a whole week without posting. Man, I just get so tied up in what I'm doing that I don't either have the inspiration or the time to squeeze that in.
I get
And
fucking sick of it, man. I posting for Double L Kennels and the Instagram pages and the Twitter page and the Snapchat and the fucking Bull-NA-ChinaShop page and the YouTube channel, and I'm advertising podcasts, and I'm advertising older videos and brand new stuff, and it's just like I get so fucking tired of doing it, but it's kind of part of life now. It's just like scooping shit twice a day, you know?
yeah, yeah, it is. It's on my when it comes to my list of daily to dos. I can't even. It's every single day. So I don't even. It's on a list of things that happen every day.
Every day.
It is like scooping shit because it has to happen. At least I like I said, I do sometimes go a week without, and if I'm not feeling it, it's all good. I don't worry about it. Another thing that I feel that is, it's almost like good to not oversaturate with your content. Sometimes when you leave and come back, they appreciate you a little bit more. Your posts will get a little more engagement. But yeah, we have staffed up. We got some projects that we're working on with a couple different things, music, cannabis.
Well, you were telling me before we turned the mic on, you were telling me about a couple of new members of the Bully Market crew up there that are kind of helping you guys move things forward and put in the work that needs to be put in up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at this point, okay, brother, I'll see you later. In fact, they're taking off. Hold on. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
See, that's the cost of being
All
the
right.
boss right there, motherfuckers. Doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a podcast or not. When you are the boss, motherfuckers need to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In fact, they were feeding all the dogs right now and rotating some dogs. They're gonna head over to the other property, do some land. It's nonstop. So, but yeah, we were talking about one of the guys, a couple of the guys. We're moving forward. Yeah, man. As good as we've done with our socials, there's a lot of aspects. Like, for example, what you've done and what you've just done a really good job of just doing. I've not done a good job of just doing as much as I know I should do these types of things, and it would be beneficial if I did these types of things.
Well, you're just not documenting.
Well, I'm not. I need to do the more of. It's the video.
Right.
Stuff that I'm talking about.
Right.
Video is the future. I need to do more video, but with C Money here, he is pretty good with the video editing. I can have a guy that, when you said just like right now, you're not documenting, I can have a guy on me while I'm scooping up those 10 piles of shit on one shovel, and people can witness it from the third person and just get an idea of what I mean. Or they might catch a blooper. But anyways, that documenting and just that in that life as you call it, the dog man life. I call it the bully market life, because we I feel we take this thing to a different level as far as beyond the kennel and breeding, and it's kind of what it sounds like, the bull market continuing to go up and to progress, to always get better. So staffing up helps me be able to do little things, that whether it's reading new books, studying new things, playing with my kids more time with the wife, or more time on social media to do things, stuff like that. It's really been a big help. I have been wanting to do a lot of videos more, and we're finally getting there. I'm real happy with the yard, what we got here to display. They have athleticism. They're, like you said, they're fun to watch. So, I want to get some of that. I want to document that. Get back out here into the shows soon. Got some good dogs to bring out. Got a lot of breedings coming up that will kind of be the prospects for future show goings, and really looking to it's a little different now. I'm strategizing on how we're gonna move forward, with the projects we have working on outside of the dogs in the show ring. It's like Young Nubs, the usual handler. He's so busy, and so I am looking to network with. I'm looking to find that next guy who I could possibly network and do some some top prospects with, to really, because I can't get out there like I used to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I
And
still want the dogs to win and show what they got and keep the generational grand champion flow flowing.
right. And some of the young stuff that you have out there, I mean, it's gonna need to be out there in the ring. One thing that you and I did together this year within the past 12 months was the bus bred to Cleopatra, we got really good results from. The male that I kept, Cletus, he'll be coming out soon, and I kind of feel the same way about him. Like, he's a younger stud, where I don't want to bring him out too early, but at the same time, that son of a bitch looks really good. He's going to need to come out soon, make an appearance very soon. So I think I'm going to be strategizing kind of the same type of way. Send him with a handler. Find somebody I can trust and get him with a handler and get him out there.
Yeah, that's the real difficult part, and so that's a big reason why the whole staffing up thing here. It's like it has to be people I could trust, and it gives more time to get mess with those dogs and get them ready for shows. But yeah, it is hard to send that dog that you think could be the next maestro or the next top dog out with somebody if they're not going to be doing what they're supposed to do. You just feel like, man, it's better off with me. So that's really what happens for me a lot of times. I just look at it like, well, this one's better off with me. That's why I got so much of what I have.
I mean, I knew. Well, I knew early on that Maestro was a fucking special dog. So I never had a one inclination in any way that he was ever gonna go and be in somebody else's hands ever. You know what I mean? As much as I like guys like Tyler Wilson and other handlers, even Brooke. They take care of animals and they do a great job and they're super responsible with other people, with client dogs and stuff like that. But an animal like Maestro, that motherfucker's better off in my hands. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if he wasn't right here in my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely, it's just, yeah. Sometimes that's just the way it is, you know.
I'm kind of at the same spot with Cletus, to be honest with you. He's nice, man. I can't wait for you to see him. He's fucking nice. The bus has been dropping bombs, dude, all year. That's another thing that's been happening in the past 12 months. The bus has been dropping bombs.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's an amazing producer. Um, he's just really worked wonders for, you know, everyone that I've seen use him. For us, you know, he's really improved in areas that I was wanting to improve on, and he throws real consistent, and he throws an athletic dog, and I just, you know, that's really important to me too for what I like, you know. So to have those little compact little sausages running out there, jumping, flipping, you know, fighting sometimes. I don't like it when they fight, but I like that they have the drive in them still to be a dog. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no doubt about it. No, no doubt about it. That's something. Functionality is definitely something that we need to keep in the breed. I mean, we definitely we don't need the dogs to be running 6 miles a day or herding fucking 300 sheep or something like that. We don't need that kind of athleticism and drive, but we definitely need functionality still in the breeding programs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. So with Bus, you know, and what he produces for,
So
you
let me
know,
ask you
when
a
we're talking
question.
about functionality and a pocket bully and people chopping the size down and wanting smaller, 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 this dog really pushes these boundaries, being really small and compact, and has some pretty
Mass,
pretty
mass, and
serious ability.
functionality.
If you look at what he did on that lure course, for example.
Yeah. So answer this question, motherfucker. How do you get two once in a lifetime dogs? Because in my opinion, Bistro is once in a fucking lifetime type of animal. And then you turn right around and you got the Bus, who in my opinion is one of the best examples of a pocket American bully that's ever lived, one of the best that's ever lived, and the dog produces. Like, how do you get two once in a lifetime dogs in the same lifetime? Like, what the fuck is going on out there?
Well, I'm blessed. I'm lucky. You know, I'm blessed. You know, I'm a little lucky. Another thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, that I feel that I'm one of the best when it comes to these dogs. You know, I might not know the breed standard, but like the back of my hand, but I am a really good talent evaluator, a value evaluator. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw Bistro, when I saw even Bistro's dad, a lot of people don't realize, you know, I got Bistro's dad, and to produce Bistro, I actually paid money. I paid $1,000 to make this happen, and I said I just want a second pick puppy. So I was getting a second pick puppy, plus I paid $1,000 to make the breeding happen. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you didn't produce Bistro." Well, okay, you know, maybe I didn't. He wasn't born at my house, but you know, I practically paid a bitch fee to make
Yeah.
sure he was born. And you know what I mean? And unfortunately, my mistake was that I had committed to being the guy that I said I want a female off of your female because she was a good producer. And so I was stuck with just, you know, the best female, who ended up being a nice bitch and contributed to the gene pool in a positive way. But she wasn't Bistro. And you know, I made an offer on Bistro when he was real young. Um, for a good sum of money. And he didn't want to sell him to me. And I said, if you ever do, then, let me know. I really want this boy. I at 2 weeks old, I picked him up. I held him up above my head. I looked up at him. I said, let me get him. Let me make him a legend. That's what I said. And he's like, no, he's not for sale. And I was like, okay, well, if he becomes for sale, let me know. I want him. And, there was something special about him. Even still to this day, I don't think I've really seen many puppies that look quite like Bistro with the type of bone he had. Just insane. And I sometimes wonder to myself, is it that I was so new to bullies? It's like when you're a kid and you think back of the old house, it was such a big house, and then you go back when you're older and, oh man, the house wasn't actually as big as I thought.
Right.
But I swear, like, Bistro he was a crazy puppy. So he came to us with short bus bullies Nolan. We did a collaboration breeding. He hit me up with his bitch and Grundor daughter. I was a little skeptical about doing a pup deal on this breeding, and I was like, no, this is let's try this, and let's give it a whirl. And the pups came out, and they were real nice. I actually picked the female though. I picked the bitch, the sister, and I took her home, and she kind of had like a little thing going on with her arm that was kind of throwing me off a little bit, the way she stood. And the more I started thinking about Buzz, about the male puppy, I was like, man, that's one of the nicer Bistro males. Like, the only reason I didn't pick him was because there was a more beastly female. And just, breeder mentality, always go for that beastly bitch.
Oh yeah,
But
default's always the female.
You know what I mean?
That's always the
But
female.
I even brought her home. I named this bitch Bus or something like that. I'm pretty sure, I forget what I had named her, but I called her Bus, and then I had her, and I hit up Nolan. I was like, hey dude, can I bring this bitch back? I want to get that male instead. Let me get him. I'm gonna take him all around the country. I'm gonna dominate shows with him. And he's like, yeah, that's fine, went back, got him, and then I had him, and I even still almost co-owned him out. You know what I mean? Luckily, I didn't.
Yeah.
Not that the guy isn't a good guy, but it would have just been one of them couch potatoes, and Bus wouldn't have been contributing to the gene pool or got a number one dog or anything like that.
Right. And like I said, to me, I don't know, one of the best pocket American bullies that's walking the fucking planet Earth, in my opinion. And what the fuck do I know? I mean, take my opinion for whatever you want to take it for, but to me, that's one of the better examples of the fucking breed that we have. So I'm glad you didn't co-own him. I'm glad he is contributing to the gene pool. To my gene pool. He's contributed to my gene pool, then I'm going to use that shit in the future. I mean, you already know it's definitely going to be a big part of my program, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it just goes back to, like I was saying, I feel that when I'm good at evaluating talent. I'm good at building a team. I've always been I've only been breeding for 8 years, 9 years, 10 next year. But I always get criticized for, well, not so much lately, because I've been really, producing more, as I get deeper into my career. But it's like I got criticized for not producing, or this dog couldn't produce that, or whatever. But I'm a good talent evaluator, and I'm definitely good at build. And even when we talk about one of the best dogs on the planet, Bus, look at Maestro. Maestro's he's badass, and that dog is I'm not that was your breeding, but at the same time I always had my sights kind of set on Fran. You know what I mean? Doing some sort of
Right.
cross of those genes. Did I know you were going to get something as big bone and like Maestro? I thought we were going to get some crazy shit, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
I think
so
like a dog
it's
like
just
Loki, I think most people expected like Loki's Loki and Maestro are so similarly built and so close. It's just Maestro's got that little fucking extra that I don't think any of us really expected. I knew in the back of my head the potential was there, but to see it actually come to fruition and be born and watch that motherfucker from the day he was. I think I sent you a picture when he was 3 days old and said this motherfucker is going to be special, and he so far he's exceeding expectations also, and that's what I mean. I think Bistro and Bus are both once in a lifetime, once in a generation at the very least type of dogs.
I agree with that. They are. And you know what? Actually, I'm pretty sure when you produced Maestro, I was we were talking about. I forget what number you said, but he said, "Man, if someone threw me this number, I might sell him." I said, "Bro, you better up that number because to more like 100K or more because this is this is not an everyday thing. It is exactly what you said, a once in a lifetime thing." But even as we say that, I'm gonna go on record and say, we're gonna do it again. Whether it's you and I together, you do it with your boys and your breedings, or I do it myself with these breedings I got going on here because it just goes back to that ability to evaluate talent, good stock. It all started out with Homie for me, and then I saw Lock and Load, and then we got Bistro, and now we got Bus, and I'm pushing forward, and I got a lot of semen on ice. I'm creating a lot of dogs that are now that I'm really seeing what over time what they're producing with different and what they're really strong and more weak at. It's easier to breed and produce bitches that are good to take back into those old foundation dogs.
Right.
And so as we're getting a lot of this new blood. We're going to be one of those breeders that are bringing back old foundation stuff. I mean, I'll mess around with Homie a little bit, but I'm talking about like the pocket, Lock and Load, Bistro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think just like you just said, as far as talent, evaluating talent and stuff, you as far as collaborations have. I give you a lot of credit because a lot of people get stuck in the mentality that they don't need anybody else to get better. And not that you need anybody else, but recognizing that you could make improvements by collaborating with this person and then doing that collaboration and making the improvement and moving forward with that. I feel like you deserve credit just for that aspect alone, just
Oh
being
yeah.
able to recognize that you can, we can help each other get. That's kind of how we approached it, especially with the Bistro Cleo matchup. We can help each other move forward. You know what I mean? And it's nice to see the female red rhino that you got out of that litter producing stuff for you. Flashy, beautiful, boned up pups for you out of Big Boy. And the stuff that I got off it obviously is doing what it's doing for me. So it's just, to me, you got to get credit just for being able to recognize that those collaborations will help you move forward, but then actually going through with it and making that stuff happen. You probably have some of the best collaborations, and it inspires me too. Collaborating with Black Label, collaborating with Bent River Bully Company, collaborating with you, collaborating with a bunch of people to help move my program forward. That's all inspired by the shit that you've done, and the stuff that we've created together. You know what I mean? It's eye-opening stuff, and I think you deserve credit for being able to recognize that shit.
Well, that's dope. You know, I appreciate you mentioning that. I don't try to, you know, I don't really get on the socials and rant too much about these things. I do try and I just do and let my actions lead. But let my actions be the example, not my words. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll talk about these things, but it's just like, like you said, you observe and I'll say that one of the ones that kind of inspired me to step outside the box was Ron Ramos. And just, even thinking back to old foundation dogs like Thing and how breed was created. But when you do look at Ron Ramos and how he uses, how he had that Amstaff base and how he still has some of that style in his blood, and then he'll breed to the more bulldog-ier style, sometimes male, overdone male. And get some pretty good results.
Right.
And then just the collaboration in general. When it's two good camps, two good lines, well promoted, and ones with a lot of influence, then people do like to see it. And then when it does well, not to mention just the genetic diversity that it brings to the table, to your program, to the gene pool. That's a big plus in a world where a lot of people like to just inbreed and line breed and inbreed and line breed. These quality outcrosses are something nice, and that's another thing. When it came to some of the nice dogs that we've produced, being on pup back, it's like I can't produce or buy up every nice dog, but if I see some dope stock and I can make a breeding happen and get a pup back deal out of that, it's like, to me, how the dog gets produced, it don't matter. Like, all I need to do is plant the seed, and as long as the dog gets made and I get the stock, like, I don't need to have I don't need to say it was born at my house, or like, I produced this all by myself. Like you said, collaboration, man. Together, we're stronger. Together, we go forward in a greater way. I'm a firm believer of that. That's why I do have people here helping me with things that I'm doing. That's why I do collaborate with other breeders. I am collaborating with other breeders in efforts to produce what I need here to only not need to go out if I don't have to. It's not to say I'll never collab, but I am breeding to try to not need to.
Right. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's the end goal, most of us that actually do have a breeding program, and I think that word gets thrown around a lot with zero meaning behind it. But when we talk about a breeding program, it's a long-term vision and goal and a fucking plan. And I think that's probably the end goal for most people that actually have a program. These collaborations and bringing in these little pieces from other people's yards to complete your puzzle. I'm still I'm trying to set my yard up so in a couple years or a couple generations I don't have to go outside my yard if I don't want to. I'm trying to set it up to where I only have to go out if I see an exceptional piece that I know will help me move forward.
Absolutely. Right now the breed's so young, and the gene pool, I mean, obviously there's been paper hanging, so we really don't know how tight it actually is, but it's like most likely any program out there, they can only do a couple breedings in-house before they have to go out.
Right. Right.
For us, part of the reason why we have so many dogs and why we're doing a couple different outcrosses with different lines is because I'm actually working on a couple different strains to use to have right here on our yard, where I don't have to, there's positive sides about the collaboration, and then there's negative ones where I've had times where I go off and I spend money and I get burned. Like I don't get what I paid for. Maybe the dog gets sold and there's no recourse, no stud replacement. Like I've had that happen. Dog can't produce semen with no frozen backup, no stud backup. I've had all sorts of stuff happen. So it's definitely nice when you got all those tools and puzzle pieces to do that breeding. Not only do the breeding in-house, but do the breeding in-house and be able to move forward. Do the breeding in-house and be able to at least, have something that you're happy with to move on to the next.
Right. Yeah. That's the challenge, But speaking of that, speaking of moving forward, what do you see in store in the next 12 months, the next year coming up for Bully Market? Like, where do you see it going? What do you see happening in the next 12 months?
In the next 12 months, just, doing the work that we need to do. I as far as, when I'm talking to the bully world here, I don't have a lot of stuff planned other than, I'm in the whelping box. I have the move here, improving on the properties here. We have several breedings confirmed and due this month. In fact, we just bred Maestro's sister today. So hopefully she gets confirmed in about a month or so. So, for this next year, we will probably make an appearance or two in some shows, get some of this new dogs out there. I want to get more gear. I want to get, the properties looking good, put some more gear out, look out for that. Producing some fire, as far as like, some of our productions, next generation is going to be really nice. We got some new stuff coming with some crosses that we've done and different things that we're doing as we go deeper into our work. Pretty excited about. So that's the main focus right now. I have been, missing the show ring a little bit lately, and just, the judging thing, that was a good time. I'm not particularly fond of airports and different aspects of travel, but interacting with the people of the community across the globe was it's fun. You know what I mean? It's a good time meeting and interacting with the people that make up this community and that are part of building this community. Because another thing I like to, I've always kind of liked to help my friends. I never thought of it as mentoring, but, just give sound advice. My dad always tried to advise me, give me good advice. And just the way, I saw something with you, just a little piece of advice, take with it what you want. And if you think it's good, run with it. If you think it's no good, throw it away. You thought it was decent and you knocked it out of the ballpark with, you took it to the next level with your podcast. And so I forgot kind of what that was tying into right now.
Well, you've also got
just going out and being able to have some sort of influence, just like saying that to you, you've created this awesome platform that is a positive influence for the breed. For me, going out and judging and kind of, the last show I went to for EBKC, talked with Andrea Selvaggi. That was a really good show, a really good experience. He's been around for a really long time. And so just, these guys throwing shows, they have influence as to what's going on in these communities. So I do like to get out there and have an impact. I care about this community, the dogs, the people in it. I want it to thrive. I want it to last. So, I'm just sitting back, breeding good dogs, and, getting everything dialed in here. When I come back full force to shows, I want to have lots of bully market gear and several dogs to bring out like we used to. And just pocket, short back, nice, beautiful heads, thick bodies, good movements. So it's just when you've accomplished so much in an area, it's like you have to like morph and you have to like change it up to kind of like continue to get satisfaction. Because like for me, it was bistro. Let's get number one with bistro. Okay, then let's go back to back, and then let's get it with the sun. And okay, let's make bistro the best producer of all times. And then it's like you just have to keep progressing with the goals. And so, where will we be in 12 months, man? Only the Lord knows that. But God willing, we got some good things in store.
Yeah, and you guys also have new brand Bully Market Farms that you're focusing on too. I know that just rolled out, but I feel like the next 12 months is going to be critical for you guys as far as Bully Market Farms goes too. What do you see as far as, well, first of all, what is Bully Market Farms and what's the goal behind all that?
Yeah, hold on one second. Okay. Dogs here. I'm sure they're all good little knuckleheads. Yeah, man. Right now it's still a medical platform. We're here to produce medical grade, high quality cannabis and cannabis products, concentrates, CBD oils, and not just necessarily for people, also for pets. Using strains and breeding strains, creating new strains that are, selectively bred for maximum therapeutic benefits. Some people know our boy Bus. We had put him on some medication. There was a little bit of blood in his semen months ago, and we put him on some meds, and they hit him real bad, and it almost took him out. Like, I thought he was going to die almost. So I was like, man, he can't get any worse. Let's take him off this, even though they were saying just keep him on it. We put him on the cannabis oil, and our in-house cannabis oil collaborations with Braveline and Bully Market Farms. It's I attribute that, along with some of the upgrades to the feed and supplements that I mentioned earlier. But that cannabis CBD oil, that's big for some of the things that we were trying to address with just inflammation and things like that. So it's something really nice to be able to have that type of impact for people's pets. There's veterans that need access to quality medicine, holistic and organic alternatives to prescriptions, and that's all encompassed in part of our mission. And so it's definitely gives you a great sense of purpose when we're producing this medicine. And it's really cool the way we're utilizing our following and our dogs to intertwine in with that community. We're producing and breeding dogs. We're also producing and breeding strains, selectively breeding, and it's very similar to how the things work. So
now, when you say exclusive strains, what do you mean? Like you mean the strains that you Bully Market Farms has created? Like you guys have your own names and you guys have your own, like that's your strains. Like that's from Bully
yeah,
Market Farms only.
yeah, exactly. We have some exclusive strains with some, top-notch, highly sought-after genetics. I'm not in a rush to push the stuff out there because, especially coming from my background as a breeder, I understand what really the process that it takes to get the final product that you want to dub as what you are actually when it comes to breeding and pheno hunting and picking that your final product to be what you want to represent that strain. That is a process, man, and it's not something that I want to rush. It's something that I do want to respect. And so yeah, I mean, it's just like with dogs. You take one bloodline, you take another bloodline, a strain, quote unquote, you take it together, and then, from there, you have a totally new, quote unquote, strain. Um, so, and, different strains do different stuff. A lot, even myself back in the day, I thought, just weed was weed. I smoke it, I got high. I didn't realize that, man, how sometimes I felt tired. Sometimes I felt more uplifted. I didn't realize that that was actually different strains bringing a different type of high to the table.
Right,
And,
just like
you
different
know,
strains in as far as dogs go, different strains carry different characteristics that they produce every single time.
absolutely. So I feel like transitioning into this, it is challenging. I feel like, a rookie again, a noob. But I do feel that my experience as a dog breeder is advantageous as I embark on the new journey.
Well, I don't know how a guy would get involved, but I feel like Maestro might like to have his own strain here. Might like to have maybe a nice little spot in the promo. Even maybe we could help out with that. Maybe we could get involved. I definitely want to get some names of some products and stuff, and possibly try a couple things. Something I'm going to be doing in the next year with the podcast is I'm going to be adding a second episode every week. So we're going to be doing 2 episodes a week with the podcast moving forward this year, and I'm going to be doing something called Solo Saturdays, where it's just me. Most likely won't have too many guests for the Saturday episode, but I am going to be featuring a product every week on the Solo Saturdays. So definitely like to get some stuff and try some stuff, maybe to like the CBD oil and stuff like that for the dogs. Maybe just to have featured as product of the week on a couple of episodes coming up, and more than a couple, I'm sure. I'm sure you're gonna have products dropping left and right.
Yeah, I truly believe in it. It's good stuff. I take it myself as a preventative. I give it to top stud dogs. I give it to different
Well,
dogs if they're having different ailments.
well, I think one thing people don't understand is CBD is great for inflammation, correct?
Great for inflammation.
Right, and inflammation is the root cause of almost everything as far as health issues that goes wrong with you know uh, uh, living beings' bodies. Whether it's heart problems, whether it's prostate problems, whether it's joint problems, most of it, the base of it is inflammation.
Well, and CBD and specifically, and I'm not an expert on this knowledge. My partner, who I want to have on one of our podcasts, And I appreciate you giving me all this time to talk on your platform. Definitely going to have you on our podcast when we have it. But with these CBDs, I got my partner Jimmy, who would be able to really get in depth about the wide range of benefits. But seizures, anxiety. So if you have a dog that could be high stress, and stress can cause a lot of different health issues to manifest.
Right,
So,
right.
so it plays a big role.
Well, I
I feel
definitely
that
like to.
that gave Bus a huge boost, um, and just some of the other stuff that we're doing. We could go get into that.
I definitely
Kind of
like to feature some Bully Market Farms products on product of the week and stuff too. So we'll link on that for sure. But I mean, as far as like what you guys have going on, it's a unique thing. It's like the combination of, I mean, the fact that you're a dog breeder and you have, you know, 1.5 million people reach on social medias. It's a unique situation that in itself, and then to cross over into this even bigger arena that is the cannabis world out there. That's another super unique thing, you know, especially for you know, guys with our with backgrounds like ours. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the next 12 months is going to be nothing but, I mean, not nothing, but I think the next 12 months is going to be a fucking interesting ride to watch you go on, my friend. I can't wait to see what happens with Bully Market Farms. And that the last kind of question I have for you, what's going on with the, I know you were going to throw a bully event in June. Some logistic things, some logistics issues came up, and it had to be pushed back. Is that still going forward?
Yeah, I have several different opportunities and kind of, guys kind of chomping at the bit, wanting to collaborate on this thing. The guy that we were originally doing this with had the venue and everything. They threw an event there. There was problem at that event, which then kind of put that venue kind of no longer on the radar for us to be able to use, which just it threw everything out of whack. Looking back, I probably could have let the show go through my thing. Looking ahead, it was a June. I did not want to be risking any dogs' lives, and it'd be too hot. Have so many people traveling from all over the country to get here, and then it'd be so exhaustingly hot for the dogs to even, people to even enjoy it. It's something that I want people to enjoy and to network and their dogs to look good. We postponed. We're looking at other dates, um, and that's where we're at right now. We're looking at other dates and other options right now. It's something that we want to do. It's on our priorities to do. Right, when we got into the last one, we were heavily reliant on our partner to deliver on different aspects of the show. So with us having to take more onto our plate, it makes it more difficult when we have so much already going on in life. You never want to spread yourself too thin. You only have so many energy units that you can expel, and if you're trying to do too many things at once, nothing's ever going to get done. So concentrating energies, getting some things done, focusing, prioritizing, that is definitely on the horizon, though. It's something that when we go back to bringing the value and connecting communities, it could be something really nice, because these guys, they love the dogs, and these people that love the dogs, they love the weed. So it just kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it's easy to cross over. I feel like that It's
It's a
easy
good
to blend those.
crossover. I mean, when you know, and it's just these cannabis people. It's not a bad thing when I say it. I mean, they just a lot of people that smoke, they have bully breeds. It's something that media has found a way to spin and put a kind of a stigma on it, but in reality, it just goes to show. It's more of like a testament to, man, chill people, chill dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep. I know exactly what you mean with that. I think I think that that shit's gonna take off. Whenever you get that going, you already know Bull in a China Shop is gonna be involved. We're gonna have Bull in a China Shop TV out there filming everything. We're gonna have the Bull in a China Shop podcast out there doing some podcasts at the event. So you just keep us in the loop. Keep me posted on when that's going down because I definitely want to be involved in that. You already know.
Absolutely. And you know, you said that I inspired you to run off with and you know get to where you've got with your thing, and you know, you doing it, actually doing, has, you know, it inspires me to look at and be like, man, look at him, he's doing this shit. And it's not very, because a lot of people ask me for help, but not very many people listen, you know.
Well, yeah, and this is such a fucking alien. I mean, this is such a alien thing for me. Like for a lot of people in this community, podcasting, you know, having
And
a
you didn't even ask me for help. I was, to make that clear, it was
yeah,
just a suggestion.
yeah,
You know, I saw you were good at it.
yeah. There's things that you know I've come to you and said, you know, what do you think about this? But honestly, the podcast idea was just kind of you spouting it out off of left field and saying, hey, you know, you because I think we were talking about the podcast that I listened to, and you were saying, well, why don't you do a fucking podcast? I mean, it's something I think you'd be good at. As soon as you said that to me, my brain did not stop. I mean, I went for like 5 or 6 weeks straight where I was just taking basically a crash course in podcasting from YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
And just
So,
obsessive with it, you know?
well, and it's cool to see, and it's like, you know, it's there was a time when we were beating each other over the head, not literally, but you know, in the show ring, really going after each other, going for those best of breed wins. Didn't view each other really as friends, but you know, the judging thing where it was made us neutral, we kind of broke down some barriers there, and
I think the tequila in the casino in Manila probably broke down more barriers than anything.
yeah, well, you know, we were having a good time drinking it up, sharing some you know, personal stories, but really, you know, yeah, just that, and then it's kind of, I just want to point that out to the people listening. It's like, if you see someone that they have a skill at something, you know, you have to understand that the words you say to people can potentially break them down, or you could speak life into somebody. A little something you say could really change somebody for the better.
Right.
You could have an impact on somebody's life. And, you know, all the competition stuff aside, as much as I want to win and stack up those trophies and do stuff like that, at the end of the day, we're only on the planet for so long. I'm not going to be putting very many ribbons in my coffin. I mean, it's you want to have impact on the people. So, and then you want those people to have impact on their people, and it just keeps going. And
That's how you build a legacy, man. That's how you build a legacy.
so, you know, I appreciate what you're doing, and it's good stuff. And like I said, it inspires me to really buckle down and get my podcast out. I want to have you come as a guest, and we'll have my
I'm
guy
ready.
See Money. We'll have several different guests from the cannabis industry, from entertainment. Just it's going to be kind of, you will probably interview more people. I'll probably, I don't, unless I start getting out more, but the way we're doing it right now is actually pretty cool, just online, over the phone. But
I'd like to do it in person. Like, I definitely like the dynamic and the chemistry that you have sitting with somebody and having a conversation in person. But I mean, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world being able to reach out to somebody 3,000 miles away and having a clear, crisp conversation over the phone. I mean, the opportunities of the being able to open it up with the phone calls and stuff, and being able to do more interviews, the opportunities that is presented, I feel like has definitely taken it to the next level. And more to your point about influencing people, the the messages and the emails and the DMs that I get on Instagram, and the feedback that I'm getting from this whole thing, the vlogs, the podcast, the event coverage. I've got some ideas to expand that stuff in the future too. We're going to be doing some stuff that nobody's ever done before. But the feedback that I've been getting, the influence that I'm having already through this Bull-NA-China Shop platform is really opening my eyes to realize like what I think my purpose actually is. It's not just making videos. I could give two fucks about making videos, but I make the videos to show people what really goes into this, or what these events are really like, or if I'm doing a stud feature, what that stud actually looks like. You know what I mean? I'm not doing a video to create a hype promo commercial for this stud. I'm doing a video to show people the real stud. Like, that's what he is. This is what is he's bringing to the table, so people can take this information and help. That information can help them move forward, whatever it is, whether it's traveling with dogs. I do a lot of vlogs with traveling, whether it's driving or flying, whether it's like seeing an event before you go there and kind of knowing what to expect when you get there, or just the dogs of my own program hanging out in the yard. People don't get to see that unless they come all the way out here to Kansas. These videos and this podcast and stuff, the interviews that I do, the brains that I've been able to pick the past year through the podcast, like getting this information out to people, it feels good. It feels really good to get that feedback and to hear people say, hey, keep doing what you're doing because it's helping me tremendously. That feels really fucking good.
Yeah, well, and I mean, that is what it's all about, man. Making that impact, bringing that value, making a difference, and it's gonna continue to evolve. I could easily see, you. It's starting out with dogs, and you're talking at seminars about dogs, and you're vlogging about dogs too. You bump into someone else that is doing something else, and then you get led into something else, and now you're talking in front of big crowds about who knows what. I mean, you never know where life takes you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the fact that opportunities multiply as they are seized. So when you start doing the podcast, and you're flying here and you're going there and you're doing things, you're not sitting there and strumming your thumbs too long and theorizing too much, you're actually doing stuff, then more good stuff starts to happen. And you're doing, and as you're doing and you're staying busy, it's like you tend to, I don't know, like you I guess some people are either positive or they're not, but if you're doing and you're focusing on more of the better aspects of what you're involving yourself in, then, you're going to invite more good and better aspects in, right on into your life, because that's what you're focusing on. That's what you're noticing. That's what you're inviting in. You're going to find whatever you're looking for. So, to do something positive, reach out, do something positive, like this, even if it's, if you can't podcast, if you can't get on and do what Ty does, it's okay. You might just be the guy that takes your dog to the beach every Friday and lets kids pet it, or, takes your dog to an old folks home and, connect with some folks and hear some stories of some old timers, soak up some wisdom, let them enjoy this new breed that didn't even exist when they were a kid.
That's crazy to think about right there. That's crazy to think about. There are, 2 generations at least of people who the whole time up until 50, 60 years old, this breed didn't even fucking exist. There's no way they could know about it because it didn't exist.
And now there's an entire global emerging market and subculture surrounding it.
It's fucking insane, man. Just to think about that. That's dope.
Opening opportunities, people traveling all over the world. In 3 or 4 years, your whole left arm is going to be filled with the puzzle pieces of all the countries you went to.
Yeah, with a little bit of luck and a lot of work. Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. And I've got 11 on there right now. I think I put 6 on this year. In the past 12 months since the podcast started, I think I've put 6 flags on, or 7.
So yeah, Ty, when he goes to a new country, he puts the flag on his arm, and he's building quite the collage of flags of different places that he's went, and with each one of those is attached, I'm sure, a lot of different cool memories.
Yeah, there's definitely a story or two with each one of them for sure.
So this American Bully thing of ours, man, it's been a real blessing. It really is. So anyone that gets involved in this thing, man, you have to honor this shit. You have to really respect the game. You have to honor it and, show it love. It'll show love back, But, the people that are here to exploit the dogs and the people, they just gotta go. We don't need that. You know what I mean?
No, we definitely don't need. I'll tell you what we don't need. We don't need old head, washed up breeders leading people down fucking rabbit holes that they don't need to be going on in the first place, reliving their fucking glory days that lasted about 14 fucking seconds with no credentials and no resume and no accomplishments behind them, leading these people and quote unquote educating people. That's what we don't fucking need. You guys want somebody to look up to and to emulate? Go visit bullymarket.com. You want somebody to base your stuff off of and take advice from? Go visit Bully Market on Facebook. Don't you gotta pick and choose what you listen to and the information that comes in. I just hope people don't hear this shit and really believe it. I hope people can see through this bullshit.
Well,
it's
fuck
just
what they say. Show me what they do.
Right. What have you done? Exactly. What have you done?
And as far as taking advice, be wary of who you're taking advice from. My advice, as funny as that sounds, is don't take too much advice. What you want to do is look at what people do, not what they say. If anything, you could compare what they say versus what they do because that'll reveal their character. But really, pay attention to what they do and then extract from that the stuff that you like. I don't care. If someone does something that you don't like, well, I mean, I'm sure everyone's got something that you don't like. But what about what they do like? Did they bring something to the table? Dave, Cruz, Marco, Ed Shepherd, all different styles. They all brought something different. But I learned something from them all, and I kind of, you can kind of morph your own game plan and your own philosophy, and you develop your own strategy unless you have a highly successful mentor, unless you can look at someone and say, man, I want to be where this person is, not where you see them on social media, where you see them actually in life. The goal is to win, not to look like you're winning.
Yeah, and highly successful is not selling $750 stud fees to any and every bitch that comes along. Highly successful is not peddling puppies for $1,200 fucking dollars in Hoobly or on fucking Backpage or wherever the fuck you guys are peddling your puppies at. These people, I don't say you guys because most of my audience knows better than that shit, but these people, look at what they actually are doing. If they aren't successful, if you're taking advice from these people, they ought to at least have reached a level where you want to be or you want to eventually be. You don't want to look at guys that are digging through the garbage and emulate them. You're going to be digging through garbage right next to them.
Yeah, you deserve what you get if you just blindly follow the blind.
Take it from a couple of doers. Listen, or if you're going to take advice from someone, make sure they're actually doing something.
And you take your own pieces out of the pages of stuff that you really like that someone else did, and you create your own game plan. And then if you are blessed, you could be mentored by reading books. You could be mentored by studying how people do things. If you're lucky enough to have a hands-on mentor, and if they are at the level of success that you would want to be at, then you can really listen to everything that they say and trust in what they say because they have the experience, and you've evaluated. But you definitely want to be careful because there's a lot of sharks out there in this bully world that are looking for these new guys. These new guys come in every freaking all the time, and it's like fresh meat. You know what I mean?
Yep. And they pretend like they're taking you under their wing, and they pretend like they're helping you out, and they're hooking you up, and they're setting you up with the best stuff. But really, they're setting you up so you have to spend money with them for the next 5 years, and then you're going to be gone out of the game, not doing dogs anymore.
And that's if you really are getting the best stuff, quote unquote. If you are getting the best stuff, for real, it's like, how could you put a price on that? If you're getting invaluable mentorship from somebody who is really successful and can really put it down, like this conversation that we're having right now, can give like one-on-one stuff like that with you on a regular, then boom, that's high, that's valuable stuff. You have to really
that right there. That right there is another reason, one of the biggest reasons why I'm continuing with the podcast and actually expanding the content a little bit, because I want to have a source where people don't need to listen to these fucks that are steering them down the wrong path anymore. Like, I'm not saying you should listen to everything I say. I'm not saying you should emulate everything I fucking do. Don't do that. There are people that have accomplished much more than I have, that are doing things on a much higher level than I am. I want to provide a platform for people to come and listen to people who are doing things on a higher level than myself, or or bring more to the table than I do. I want to have a platform for people to go and listen to these people, and so they don't have to have these clingy attachments to these people that are steering them down the wrong path. You know, there is a place for you to go to actually get some real information now. You don't have to listen to these fucks that are leading you to put money in their pocket for their own purposes, other than helping you get better. You don't have to do that anymore. I mean, again, like I said, probably shouldn't listen to everything I say either. I'm a fucking moron half the time. But I have people on here that I feel like definitely bring a lot of fucking value to the table. Not that I don't. I mean, I definitely bring value, but I think it's nice to hear it from other people other than just me running my fucking mouth all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're listening right now and you disagree, you don't like Ty, and you disagree with everything that he's said on this podcast, if nothing else, what you can learn from him is that in 1 year, if you just do something and you put your efforts into something and you just do it, if you take a hard look at your strengths, and you really look at what are you good at, what do you like to do, and then how can you implement those things in today's marketplace, then look at the impact that it can make in a year. You know, like I say, who cares what they say? Look at what they do, and what you've done is it's very good, and I appreciate it. And like I said, we're going on 2 hours here, so I appreciate the platform. Anybody that sees this, there's time, there's effort, there's energy that goes into this for Ty. So you got to do him a favor. He's not asking you for any money. You share this, and we're getting some positive content out there for the community. When we used to have the message boards, everyone was kind of boom right there on the message boards. Once Facebook became the place for breeders, it became really a free-for-all, and it was more, the community was more kind of policed back then. And there were more morals and ethics, and now it's just like boom, you see these groups of people producing these styles of dogs that really people should not be breeding, at least not inbreeding back on the same styles, producing deformities, but they're getting lots of attention because of algorithms on Facebook. So it's like, as a real American bully breeder, man, this is 2017. If you care, if you want to step up, if you want to make an impact on the breed, this is the type of stuff that you got to do right here. Bull in the China Shop 101. This is it, and
Bro.
we're going to be doing our own.
That's what I was just gonna say. Tell them what your podcast, or when your podcast is coming out, because I know we got to get that rolling soon.
Bully Market podcast, where it's always a bull market. Some of the things, just this is just me giving back and doing some documenting and giving back right now what we've done. Like, this is the normal time that my kids are sleeping. My wife's sleeping. I've kind of tended to the daily duties, and this is some time that I have, if I can devote to the community and stuff like that. And
people want to hear what you got to say, bro. There's so much shit that we don't even get into because we're limited a little bit by time. I mean, like you said, we've done 2 hours already. So there's stuff that we don't get into, but there's shit that is in that head of yours that these people need to have access to, man.
Well, and I want it to be it's the Bully Market podcast, but where it's always a bull market, and I want to be able to in the podcast kind of encourage and invite the listener to join me in making your life always, a bull market, your life, your program, just constantly stepping up your game, looking at different areas, just, all the little things. If you like what you've heard tonight, this isn't scripted. Ty and I talked for about 5 minutes before the record went on, and we just kind of started winging it. And
Always.
If you like what you got here, this is the type of practical stuff that I want to bring forward and offer to the community. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Tell these people where they can find your shit so I can let you get off this phone.
Yeah, it's at the Bully Market on Instagram and Snapchat. On the rebrand, we dropped the. So on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, it's just Bully Market.
Or if you just Google Bully Market, you'll find everything.
Everything will pop up. But yeah, on Snapchat, it's the Bully Market. Lots of exclusive content there.
Is it bullymarket.com or is it thebullymarket.com?
Both of them will take you to the site. So the bullymarket.com, it hasn't been updated in a while. We're going to get that going. So when I was plugging the Snapchat, that's kind of, I'll if I'm not even posting to any of the other stuff, I'll usually post something to Snapchat, a little more behind the scenes, a little more personal. But the podcast, I'll make sure I blast it out whenever we drop it. It'll be soon, within the next month. I'd say we're in the transition of moving, so gotta bear with me on that.
Yeah, we'll blast it out here too on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast to make sure everybody gets links to it and everything like that. So just keep me in the loop on that, brother.
Absolutely.
All right,
well,
sir.
I appreciate you having me on tonight.
I appreciate your time as always. Rob Lee from Bully Market. Third appearance, probably will not be the last. We've got much more to cover and many more fucking stories to tell. Thanks for being on the show, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, keep it bully.
Okay. As always. What a fucking guy, this Rob Lee guy. What a fucking guy. And that's no joke, man. He comes out of nowhere a little over a year ago, says to me, "Hey, man, you're always talking about these fucking podcasts. You should do a podcast." And I'm like, you know what? I never thought about that. Let me check it out. Spent the next 6 weeks stuck in a fucking computer screen watching YouTube, basically taking myself through a crash course on how to fucking do my own podcast from home. Without a college degree, without a AP guy, or whatever you call that, a AV guy, audio visual guy. I am the audio visual guy. Anyway, shout out to Rob Lee. Appreciate you, sir. Upcoming events this weekend: Bahamas, big show right in Nassau, August 7th, Bahamas, Nassau. Be there. After that, the next one's going to be September 9th, Atlanta. World Cup event hosted by True Phase Atlanta Kennels. Going to be one of the biggest events in the country. Definitely one of the biggest events on the East Coast this year. Also, September 10th, Australia. Second ever Australian ABKC show. I will be there under the Bull-NA-ChinaShop Brand. I will be emceeing the show. I'll be speaking at the show. Also doing a meet and greet the night before the show with a little question and answer section. We'll be doing a little presentation, not presentation, but just a little speech on the American Bully and Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV and what our mission is and what we do. Also emceeing the event. We'll be doing a podcast from Australia as well. After that, I'm up in the air for October. Got a couple of options. Nothing locked in yet. November 11th, Nationals, Chicago, Navy Pier. ABKC Nationals. Your boy's judging. Make sure you're there. You got to see it. You got to be there. If you want to get pictures, you want me to be at your next event, you want me to bring my dog Maestro out, let me know. We can work on that. After that, after Nationals, I have nothing lined up other than dogs. Okay, this episode of the Bull-NA-China Shop podcast, the first and only podcast dedicated to bull breeds and the American bully lifestyle, is brought to you by Bully Market, one of the best pocket American bully programs in the country. Color, functionality, health, history of excellence. Check out bullymarket.com or Bully Market on Facebook or The Bully Market, Snapchat, and Instagram. This episode and all other episodes of the Bull-NA-China Shop podcast is brought to you by Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. If you want to hear any if you want to hear any of the episodes of the Bull-NA-China Shop podcast, hit Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com blog page. Menus in the top right hand corner. Hit the blog page. The newest episode of the podcast will be at the top of the page. Scroll down for older episodes all the way down to number 1, episode number 1. Every episode will be on there for the eternity that the site is up. This Bull-NA-China Shop podcast is also brought to you by The Bully Embassy, an elite group of breeders, handlers, owners, and judges from around the world. One of the most sought after groups in the bull breed community. You can find us at your next event. Just look for The Bully Embassy, or you can find us on Facebook at The Bully Embassy or thebullyembassy.com. For anything and everything Bull-NA-China Shop, Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. That's Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. You can also find us on all the social media platforms: Snapchat, Bull-NA-China Shop, Instagram, Bull-NA-China Shop Podcast, Facebook, Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com, Twitter, Bull-China-Shop Thai. Am I missing one? Oh, right, YouTube. YouTube.com/Bull-NA-China-Shop TV. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You can find all of the episodes of the podcast on the YouTube channel. Also, stud features, kennel features, event coverage. You can also find the vlogs, behind the scenes vlogs with yours truly, Ty Lumley. Man, what a fucking episode. This guy Rob Lee gets me jacked up every single time. My fucking brain is going right now. I'm about to go write some shit down. I got some ideas floating around. Like I said, the first 12 months, definitely a success. Definitely a success. The numbers, I mean, just off the top of my head, we're talking about 700,000 people reached the first year. It's not bad. Not bad. Like I said earlier in the episode, I'm going to be starting a solo Saturday episode of the Bull-NA-China Shop podcast. Me talking about current events. We'll have a topic each week that I dig into and give you my opinions on. A little bit of a current events section. Also a product of the week. What the fuck of the week. Some shout outs on there as well. Getting more advertising promotion this year also. So keep on the lookout for that. First episode of Solo Saturday will be this Saturday. We're going to be doing some things that have never been done before this year, people. I can't let the cat out of the bag too soon. Not ready yet. But we are going to be doing things on a global scale that have not been done ever before in bull breeds or the American bully lifestyle. Stay with me, people. I appreciate everyone's support. I love your motherfucking faces. See you guys next week. Bull-NA-China Shop podcast, episode 52. 1 year. We made it, motherfuckers. 1 year.